3 News. With me today is Kyle Merita, the director of a brand new documentary called Living Among Capuchin Monkeys. Thank you, Kyle, for being here with me today.
Thanks, Graham. Glad to be here.
I recently got a chance to watch a sneak preview of your documentary featuring capuchin monkeys living in the Detroit Zoo. So could you give us a breakdown of your documentary?
The primary focus of this documentary was to observe the tough capuchin monkey and the fascinating behaviors that they exhibit. From our raw footage, we noticed numerous behaviors relating to vigilance, rearing, and foraging from baited boxes with the monkey's favorite food. Compiled in the documentary are clear examples of each of these behaviors plus explanations from experts in the behavioral field.
That's pretty interesting, so let's take a look into some of the scenes from Living Among Capuchin Monkeys.
As seen here, the mother carries her infant on her back and remains in close proximity of the alpha male, known as Popeye, with hopes to gain the best food source for her infants. This is because the capuchin monkeys live in a male-dominant hierarchy where the alpha male has access to the best resources available. This behavior was noted in capuchin monkeys by Carosi and colleagues. Males usually don't play a key role in carrying the offspring early in its life. As you can see here, the offspring is resting on the mother's back. This may lead one to question the reason behind the close proximity between the mother and her offspring. The parental care-seeking behavior observed here is driven by increased levels of the hormone oxytocin in the infants. Similar increases in positive social behaviors was observed by Simpson and colleagues when oxytocin was administered to 7 to 14-day-old macaques. Having her infant on her back as she forages, the mother must not only provide for herself, but is also responsible for her infant, who will take food from her as early as 6 weeks, long before it begins feeding on solid foods. This innate behavior develops early in the dependent period and lasts up to when the mother withdraws supply of maternal milk. Even though carrying the infant is a costly behavior, it leads to an increase in fitness for the mother and offspring based on the informational hypothesis. This hypothesis states obtaining food from older individuals allows the capuchin monkeys to acquire information about dietary choices and develop food processing skills. Ultimate access to better food sources increases the chances of the offspring's survival. So that was a clip showing the importance of mother-offspring interactions early in the infant's life so that they can learn to forage for the best food sources.
So what are some of the other behaviors you looked at throughout your documentary?
Well, another key behavior discussed in the documentary is the vigilance behavior in the Popeye, the alpha male, which is also dominant male in the capuchin monkeys. Let's have a look. As Popeye spends most of his time in front of the two females, he is seen actively moving his head back and forth in what appears to be glancing behavior. Capuchin monkeys show a clear male dominance hierarchy. In a study conducted by Schoof and Jack, hormone levels were noted to differ according to dominant status, so that dominant males show higher levels of cortisol and testosterone, a hormone that plays a key role in aggression, mate-seeking, and guarding. As female capuchin monkey leaps off the tree branch, she is actively watched by Popeye. Popeye is seen to move in order to keep the female in his sight. In a study done by Alberts on young juvenile yellow baboons in Kenya, she hypothesized that as females become mothers, they prioritize their offspring over vigilance. Alberts looked at glance rates to measure vigilance and found that as primates age, glance rates increase for males and decrease for females. As Popeye makes his way down the tree, he approaches the female and soon takes off in a dash as he sees danger approach. Beldaloo and Henze noticed that the top-ranked male in vervet monkeys was the most active and vigilant against predators. The predator detection hypothesis states that males engage in vigilant behavior to protect themselves and kin against surprise attacks by predators. As the danger leaves, Popeye remains vigilant, but the female is seen leaving to forage. Much of the vigilance shown by Popeye is targeted towards other males from other social groups. This behavior was observed by Lisa Gould and colleagues in white-faced capuchins and support the protection of paternity hypothesis. This increased vigilant behavior is seen in Popeye, reduces the predation risk on the offspring, allowing them to survive to reproductive maturity.
It's amazing how these animals take part in such complicated behaviors, but we're out of time today, so be sure to check out the full documentary called Living Among Capuchin Monkeys.